Hello everyone, welcome to the Financial Information channel. In this video I'm going to give you the weekly earnings that are going to happen next week. And we have so many companies that are going to report earnings, and some of those companies are really exciting. We have Apple, Tesla, Activision-blizzard, Universal Displays, and Baozun. Now let's begin with the video. And the first one is Pandora. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 1 over the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna probably miss the revenue. However, I think they're gonna beat on the EPS. And this company has been rumored to be acquired by SiriusXM. And the next company is gonna be Apple. Apple has posted really good earnings lately. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. Now this is one of the companies, if they report good earnings, we're gonna have an excellent week in the stock market. What I'm looking forward, maybe they can give us any dates for the next Apple keynote. In the next Apple keynote, they are gonna announce a new iPhone, and we're gonna get an idea what exactly is going to have. And the next company is an energy company. They have actually done really well, especially since the energy sector hasn't been that good. I have put this company in the watch list, and I have watched the company during the last 2 months, and that is Emerson Electric. And they have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 2 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna probably do the same. They're gonna beat the EPS and the revenue this quarter. And the next company is Paycom Software. Since we have a lot of good numbers on the employment side, I think this company is gonna report good EPS and good revenue. And the good thing is this company has beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And Paycom has not met the EPS in the last 14 quarters. They have only had one inline EPS, and that is during the second quarter in 2014. And the next company is going to be Pfizer. Now this company has beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4, and the revenue 1 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're going to probably do the same. They're going to beat the EPS but miss on the revenue. And most people compare this to Johnson & Johnson. However, Johnson & Johnson is clearly way better than this company. And the next company is going to be Shopify. Now, this is one of the best IPOs that has been on the market, and they haven't missed any EPS or revenue. During the last 4 quarters, they have beaten the EPS and the revenue. And by the way, lately I have been using this platform, and the platform is very user friendly. And I think they're going to beat the EPS and the revenue. If Shopify has a good week, it might go over the $98, which is the resistance level. And the next company is going to be Sprint. They have beaten the EPS only 1 out of the last 4, and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. We had a lot of telecommunication companies that have reported good earnings, and I think Sprint is going to do the same. They're probably going to miss on the EPS and beat on the revenue. And the next company is Under Armour. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. Now this company had a great earning last time. The company went over around the $23. However, it has come down to the $19 at this moment. So the pressure is going to be on this company to have good earnings again, since Nike actually had a great earnings about 3 weeks ago, I believe. And the next company is Six Corporation. This is one of the companies that I mentioned in the 5 stocks to buy under $10. They have beat the EPS 3 out of the last 4, and the other time was 1 inline. And the revenue, they have beaten 3 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're going to probably do the same. They're going to beat the EPS and the revenue. Now the next company is going to be Baozun. I have gotten a lot of requests about this company lately. The company moved around 50% during the month of July. And this is one of the companies that I mentioned in the 5 stocks to buy during July. Now the company has reported really good numbers during the last 2 quarters. However, they have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4, and the other 2 times were inline numbers. And the revenue, they have beaten the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. Since the economy in China is really strong, I think this company is going to have excellent earnings, which is EPS and revenue. It is going to be interesting to see if the company moves up after the huge move in July. And the next company is going to be Cirrus Logic. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And they are one of the Apple suppliers, and I think they're going to beat the EPS and the revenue. And the next company is Fitbit. They have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4, and the revenue 2 out of the last 4 times. And they have had one inline number on the revenue side. And I think this company is gonna beat the EPS but miss on the revenue. And the next company is gonna be Groupon. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and revenue 2 out of the last 4 times with one inline number. So basically I think they're gonna beat the EPS and probably miss on the revenue side. And the next company is NXP Semiconductors. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 2 out of the last 4 times with one inline number. And as you remember, this company was acquired by Qualcomm. A lot of shareholders want Qualcomm to pay a little bit more for the company. And the company is gonna beat the EPS and the revenue. And the next company is Square. Square has actually done really well since the IPO. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times during the last 4 quarters and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And I think it's gonna do the same. It's gonna beat on the EPS and the revenue. And this company has done a really good job during the last few years. And the reason is they have been able to supply some of those small business with an easy to use payment system. And the next company is Supernus Pharmaceutical. I mentioned this company in the Fitbit Stocks to buy during the month of June, and they have done really good job during the last few months. They have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 1 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna beat the EPS and the revenue. And I think they're gonna continue going up because they have gone up quite a good amount during the last few months. And the next company is Take-Two Interactions. Now this company had a great earning last time, and I think they're gonna beat the EPS and the revenue. And they have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And the next company is gonna be Tesla. Now this is one of the most interesting companies because a lot of people either love it or hate it. Now they have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. By the way, good news for Tesla, the Model 3 has gone mainstream. And I think this company is probably gonna go up during the earnings. It's gonna beat the EPS and the revenue. And the next company is gonna be Zynga. They haven't beaten the EPS any time during the last 4 quarters, but they had one inline. And the company has beaten the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. And the company has actually came back quite a bit during this year. It has gone up around 41%. And the next company is Activision-blizzard. They have beaten the EPS 4 times out of the last 4 times and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times with one inline number. And I think the company is gonna beat on the EPS, but I think it's gonna miss on the revenue. And I do hope this company comes down quite a bit because the company is gonna have an excellent second half. So getting a lower price is not a bad idea. And this company that is coming up has gone up the most this year. That's Applied OptoElectronics. Now, this company has gone up over 300%, and the company has done really well during the earnings. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 times, and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. And the way this company has gone up during the last few months, I think they're gonna beat the EPS and the revenue. What do you guys think about the next question? Can this company reach the 400% before the end of the year? And I think it could if the company posts excellent earnings during this quarter and next quarter. It's probably gonna reach that number. And the next company is gonna be Clorox. They have done a really good job during the last few years. They have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 2 out of the last 4 times, but the other 2 times in the revenue side have been inline numbers. And I think they're gonna beat the EPS again and probably miss on the revenue. Now the next company is one of the companies that is mentioned in the YouTube community a lot, and that's gonna be GoPro. Now GoPro has beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 1 out of the last 4 times. And I do hope that this company beat the EPS and the revenue. A lot of people are investing in GoPro, so it might be nice if the company goes up. Now the next company is gonna be GrubHub. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And I think since a lot of people are staying at home, they're gonna beat on the EPS and revenue. And the next one is a company that not many people know. It's called Mercado Libre. And this is basically an e-commerce platform that is operating in South America and Central America. And it has done really well in the last few years. This year, for example, it has gone up over 80%. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna beat again the EPS and the revenue. The only downside is that the share price is a little bit high. However, I do think that the company is gonna continue heading higher. And the next company is Microchip Technology. I think they're gonna beat the EPS and the revenue, and the company has done really well. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. Now the next company has been one of my favorites in 2017. That's called Universal Displays. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 and the revenue 2 out of the last 4 times. The last 2 quarters have been awesome earnings for this company. I think they're gonna continue their tradition. They're gonna beat on the EPS and the revenue. And Universal Displays has gone up around 115% during the year. And if they have excellent earnings this time and next time, they're gonna go over 150% before the end of the year. And the next company has been one of the companies that has gone up a huge amount in 2017, and that is Weight Watchers. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 and the revenue 1 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna beat on the EPS and the revenue. And the next company is gonna be Yelp. They have beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. And I think they're gonna continue doing the same. They're gonna beat on the revenue and the EPS. But one of the things that I'm looking for is how they can monetize some of the users. The company hasn't done a really good job, in my opinion, in that aspect. Well, that is gonna be everything for the video. Please leave in the comment section below which of the companies that I mentioned was your favorite. And this week brings a lot of the companies that can move a huge amount in a few days. One of them is Universal Displays, Applied OptoElectronics, and Baozun. And don't forget about Tesla. Tesla can really fly if they report really excellent numbers. And remember, you can subscribe to the Financial Information channel. I'm gonna bring you more videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to manage your money. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.